This is Don Hansen, and he's the owner of Thunderbird Farms out here. And Don's been doing his blueberries for, oh, what? How many years now, Don?
7 years.
7 years. It looks like you got a pretty good crowd out here today.
Well, actually, it's a smaller crowd than normal because I think they were discouraged by the rain we had this morning. But
well, it must be, what, 60, 100 people, 100 cars out here?
Oh, yeah. Well, 100 cars is a good day. We
day.
average about 60 cars at any one time.
But it's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting on toward 9, but
okay. Now, most of these blueberries here looks like you only got about 50% of your crop right so far. Is that? Looks like you're going to have just a huge blackberry crop.
Yeah, maybe a little more than half, but the late varieties like the Elliots are still all green, and they'll be ripening over the next 30 days probably. Okay. We should be picking berries for another 30 days, I would think.
So you're going to be having people for what, probably a total of
6 weeks maybe?
6 weeks. That's
middle of July probably. The late varieties of blackberries like the Triple Crowns, they're still...
a huge amount of Triple Crown blackberries out there.
Right, there are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how long? Those Triple Crowns only been in the ground for, what, 3 years now, haven't they?
Just 2, I think.
2?
Yeah.
Unbelievable how they've grown in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. They're one of my favorite varieties because they are thornless.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is that they are a late berry, but and sometimes by the time they're ripe, it's really hot out, and people aren't as anxious to come out and pick.
Yeah, but by the same token, you got early varieties. The Navajos out there seem to be doing well, and
right.
the Natchez and some of the other varieties. And you're going to have, how many pounds of blackberries do you think you're going to get at each plant this year?
Well, I can't even venture to guess.
Got to be, what, maybe 8, 9 pounds? Do you think that much per plant?
Per plant?
Yeah.
Possibly on the good varieties.
Right.
On the average, probably 5 or
5, but still, that's not bad, really.
Right.
And blueberries are just unbelievable amount of blueberries. And I think most of the 3 and 4 year old bushes are doing well too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, which bush do you think you like the best?
Oh, of course, my favorite is Duke because they're early and they're prolific and they're easy to grow the plant. But the combination of Dukes as early and Legacies as middle and Elliots as late has worked out very well for me.
Early, mid, late.
Yep.
But you've got just about every variety known to man out here. So
just about.
I've lost count how many plants we've sold you over the years, but it's got to be
in the thousands.
More than the thousands. See, I assure you.
In the thousands.
In the thousands. Yeah. So, and generally losses, we haven't really, the first couple of years there were a few, but realistically it looks like pretty much everything's growing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the tough part was getting through last year.
Right.
Some people lost their entire plantings.
Well, what do you expect at 150
right.
degrees?
That's exactly right.
But, you didn't lose hardly, really not much. And it was hotter than hot here last year.
That's right.
One of the things that Don has here, if you look at you got a drip system. Get the drip system over there.
Right.
And what that does, that waters the plants every day automatically, and it's very conservation in terms of water. And Don's starting to use a little bit of moisturizer on his plants too. But some of the varieties, we've made some mistakes, and and got some half highs, which probably we shouldn't have done. But they're coming out pretty good too now. Finally, I think that
they are. They have a small berry that is very tasty.
Good taste.
And the people that are willing to pick the smaller berries are rewarded by that sweet taste.
But they've also got higher antioxidants too.
Well, that could be.
The smaller the berry, the sweeter the berry.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like the higher antioxidant berries.
Right.
So, and the yield doesn't seem to be that bad really this year.
Oh no, the yield is all right. It's just they're difficult to pick.
They're more work.
They're short, closer to the ground, and smaller berry. So it just takes more work to.
But people like them.
But people like them, prefer them in some cases.
Yeah, I do too. They're kind of like a wild Maine blueberry
That's
taste.
exactly
They're very,
right. The people from Maine, and I've had some here, They go for that smaller berry.
Well, you get people from all over the countryside, don't you? How far do you think they really come to
Well,
come here?
actually, you know, they come from Oklahoma City, they come from McAllister, they come from Bartlesville.
Well, how many miles is that away to come
Oh,
here?
100 miles.
They drive 100 miles to pick berries.
That's right.
So anything within 50 miles is realistic, wouldn't you
Well,
think?
oh yeah.
Now this bush right here is a legacy. And this is a mid-season bush. And it's not quite ready yet, but as you can see, it's starting. And the berry count on this has got to be, oh my Lord, I'm going to say 400 or 500 berries on this bush. Now this is a 5-year-old legacy right there. So look at it, isn't it gorgeous? We're going to look at some of the 5-year-old bushes right here. And these bushes, as you can see, are loaded with berries. My Lord. I bet you they're going to have 4 to 8 pounds of blueberries after 5 years already. Now you got to keep in mind, they're not mature yet. They're still going to go another 2 feet. So, but this gives you an idea of how many berries that you can get on a blueberry bush. Look at them. Unbelievable. So I believe these are Dukes right here. This is a triple crown. As you can see, this is a 4-year-old triple crown plant. And as you can see, it's got some very, very serious blackberries on it. Now, most of them aren't ripe yet, but this plant should yield, oh, I'm going to say at least 8 or 9 pounds. And that's just, I'm holding up only a part of the branch. It goes back over there. I'm not even sure how many berries are on it, there's so many. But as you can see, Triple Crown are pretty good producers. But you got to trellis a Triple Crown because they get too big. And as you can see, they definitely get a lot of berries. This row here is a 4-year-old row of Elliots. They've been in the ground here for 2 years, and as you can see, they're really starting to produce. Now, they're about another 2 years from maturing, but you can look at the berries on the things, and it's just unbelievable. How far did you drive to get here today?
Maybe 40 miles.
You drove about an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever been here before?
We came last week.
You came last week. How many berries did you get last week?
We picked 27 pounds.
27 pounds?
But we split them.
What are you going to do with all those berries?
Well, we gave half of, or two-thirds of them back to them, and we kept a third.
Okay, so you eat them. Now, what's the difference between the taste? Are you all sisters?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah. No. What do you do with all these berries?
Pancakes.
Pancakes?
Bake with them.
Bake with them? Now, do you know what?
Put them in my oatmeal.
In oatmeal? Okay, now, is there a difference between taste in these blueberries and what you can get in the store? They're really good? Now, what's the difference, though?
They just taste fresher.
Yeah.
Fresher? Sweeter?
Yeah, they have a better flavor.
Okay. How we doing today, guys? Where are you guys from? Broken Arrow. I see you got the whole crew out here picking berries today.
Yeah.
Okay, how many you got there? You got lots of berries. What are you going to do with all these berries?
What are we gonna do with them?
Blueberry pie.
Blueberry pie. That sounds pretty good. Okay. So, have you been out here very often?
No, this is our first time.
First time. Now, why'd you come out and pick blueberries today?
It was a beautiful day and we wanted the kids to have the fun experience.
Okay, it's the experience for the kids.